The Batman is getting a sequel. Jackass 4.5 is coming to Netflix, and we have a CinemaCon roundup, all on this new episode of Loud, a pop culture podcast.
Hit it!
This is Loud, a pop culture podcast for all you newbies out there, and this is for April 28th, 2022. I am your host, as always, Tomye West, and joining me, as always, is my co-host, Alannis Maximus.
Yes. And what do we also know me as?
What?
Oh, we don't have the cutaway?
Oh, we do, but it didn't work properly, I don't think. Let's try it again. Yes, we do have my friend, Alan,
Yes.
joining us.
We never need to get rid of that. That's a permanent fixture.
Oh, it is. It definitely is. So, if you haven't already, make sure you subscribe, like, and share. Before we get into the stories, as always, how's your week been, Alan?
Yeah, it's been a week.
Yeah.
Not a great one, but life goes on. Keep doing what we do.
You got to keep trucking on, man. You got to keep trucking on. Yeah, so I pulled those really expensive Pokemon cards last night and was like, I'm going to the card shop today. I took those cards to the card shop along with my first pack, like the 1999 pack of Pokemon cards that I owned, like the booster pack, the Charizard artwork. And I put it on the desk and I was like, what will you give me for this? He's like, what? Whoa, what? And I was like, what do you give me for this? I ended up walking out with $1,300 worth of Pokemon shit.
Shit, that's good.
So it could have taken money, but people have got to understand that you get less money than store credit. And I could sell the stuff I get for store credit for more money than I would get from the store. So, yeah, I got like a couple of booster boxes. I got a sealed UPC. I got all this bullshit, man. I just got more bullshit that I've got on top of my other bullshit. Like, just too many Pokemon cards now, man. So, but it's cool. It's cool. I got a lot. So, anyway, if you're just joining us again, this is, and you didn't for some reason hear about it at the start of the episode that I just said it. We have news including the Batman. We have news including the Super Mario Brothers movie, and a bunch more. So we'll get right into it with story number one. Now, story number one. Yes, it's number one story, and yes, it's kind of big news, but also it's not, because everyone kind of expected this. Alan, did you expect this?
I'm shocked.
So, now story number one, we have The Batman is getting a sequel. Now, how do you feel about this, Alan?
I knew it was coming, so I'm just kind of like, well, there it is.
Yes,
I'll be happy to see a bit more of this new Batman universe, so well, I'm reasonably excited.
Do you have any thoughts on what you might think it could be?
I think they're going to go with Joker as the main villain, which I hope they don't. I think they should have him more as a Hannibal Lecter kind of advisor kind of thing, and then have him as the villain in the next movie. But I reckon we're going to see Joker as the villain.
Well, I have a different take for you. I've put a lot of thought into this. Also reading a lot of articles. What do you know about the Court of the Owls?
I've heard of them, but I don't know much more than that.
Okay, so 1 second, I believe. Right here. So, on my shelf behind me, here is Batman, the Court of the Owls, graphic novel. So, I know my shit. I'm well read. Yeah? Like, I read articulate books. Yeah. So the Court of the Owls are like this deep, seedy sort of underbelly of like a cult, yeah? That wear these cool ass white masks. And they are like sort of like a dark cult that operates in Gotham, and they know everything about Bruce Wayne. They know everything about Batman, and they want to get Batman to join, like Bruce Wayne, to join the Court of the Owls and be one of the Court of the Owls. And they also know about Bruce Wayne's dad's, like Thomas Wayne's history and Martha Wayne and whatever you want to, like, you know, they know everything. So I have a feeling that because of, like, just the tone of the first movie and sort of the direction they were going with that the Court of the Owls might be, maybe if it's not the plot A of the movie, maybe a side plot, or maybe get set up for a future thing. Like, I don't know, but I have a feeling we're going to see something to do with the Court of the Owls in it. I mean, you don't know much about the Court of the Owls, but what does that sound like to you? Do you reckon that sounds good or not?
Yeah, I think it sounds all right, and it's something new, which is precisely what I want. I'd like him to tackle a bit, because he's got such a big rogues gallery, and let's do something new. Let's not go over what we've already seen a couple of times at this point. Like, there's time.
And I've got an article here. This is written by Adam Bankhurst over at IGN. It says, WB has officially announced a sequel to Matt Reeves as the Batman, confirming that Robert Pattinson, Zoe Kravitz, and Reeves and crew will be back for another adventure. It says, while we know nothing further as far as plot or release window, we now officially know a sequel is on its way. And yeah, that's pretty much all that's been written about it on IGN at the moment. So, I mean, the only thing I'm asking from the maker of this movie, from Matt Reeves, and the writers and everyone involved, is to not make me sit there for 3 hours again. Please. As I said, this movie was good. But that's all it was for me and Alan. So it was good at best. And that's not digging it. That's not taking a shit on it. That's just me comparing it to The Dark Knight and other entries that I've enjoyed in the franchise and saying, while I didn't like it as much as those, it still was good, enjoyable, but too fucking long. And I think Alan feels the same.
Yep. I definitely do. And I think maybe a little bit more brightness in the movie, not just for the sake of, like, it's okay that it's dark, but I also want to be able to see what's happening. Like, it's a little too dark.
I just want people to, like, question again, like, was Robert Pattinson the best Batman? Because there's so many people, like, claiming that he did. And he is. And while he might be cool in the fighting scenes and stuff, he was very stiff, very sort of like one tone. And I would have liked to see Bruce Wayne a little bit more expanded on, like just a little bit. Like, I'm a little bit disappointed that we didn't get to see sort of a different side from Batman to Bruce Wayne, like a kind of a like complete personality change, because he was basically Batman without the suit on. You know what I mean?
He was the kind of Bruce Wayne that you look at and you're like, you're fucking Batman. You are Batman.
And as we said, we're not taking a dig at it. I just think that the sequel has a lot of potential, especially after the setup they left us with on the first one, which we're not going to go into spoilers for anyone that hasn't watched it. It's probably still too new of a movie. But the last bit of that movie was fucking top notch. The problem was the third act, which is usually the final act, was a little long, leading into like the fourth act of the movie. You know what I mean? So had that sort of been a little less in the length and we gotten to the sort of ending climax bit with Gotham City sooner, I think this movie would be rated a little highly on my list of Batman movies as well. So what do you think about that?
Yeah, I think you're right.
So yeah, I think it's definitely something I'm excited to see. I'm definitely excited to see the world expanded on, and I'm more excited to see who's going to be the sort of antagonist this time, because that's always the question in the Batman movie. It's like, yeah, we know Batman's going to be in the movie. That's pretty fucking obvious. It has his name in the title. But who's going to be the villain? And I have a feeling we will still see the Riddler in this. How do you feel about that assumption?
I reckon, yeah, he'll, even if it's like he's in jail and you see him in there. Yeah, I definitely think he'll be there to some capacity. There's going to be a presence of him there.
I'm going to argue with you on one fact. You know what I just thought about? There is no way that they're going to go with the Joker this time.
Yeah.
Number one, this is meant. The Batman was year 2 of the Batman. So Robert Pattinson's Batman was only being Batman for 2 years at this point. This was his second sort of villain that he was facing up against, yeah? So he'd already had a previous year. So unless they're going to do a prequel, they're not going to do the Joker, in my opinion, because that was his first capture in the first movie. Before the first year that he was Batman, Joker was his first capture, because I feel like that's what they were setting up with that deleted scene that we got with the dialogue, which was that like he'd put in there. Now he's coming back to ask the guy he just put in for information on the Riddler. You know what I mean? So I don't think they should go back to it unless they're doing like a prequel where they showed the events leading up to the Riddler. Or if they're going to go a complete different way, which is what I'm hoping, because I don't think that the Joker that they introduced us to in this world is something I want to see as the main villain in the next movie. And I think that they cast that role knowing he was not main role Joker material. You know what I mean? Because if you were going to cast him a little, like with a little more significance in the role, you would have done it with, you know, more parts, more screen time, you know. So what do you think about that thought process behind it?
Yeah, no, that's fair. I am a little curious with how they would portray him. But I also think you're right that there's definitely a lot of the points that they don't maybe have the intention, at least this point, to have him there. Thinking about it the way you put it.
Exactly. And it would be really refreshing to see either A, a villain we haven't seen, or B, a take on a villain that wasn't done justice or introduces us to a new dynamic for a character that we already know. So, like, we don't need Bane again. Like, we don't need the Riddler again. We don't need Joker again. Like, so it'd be cool to see like a down-to-earth Mr. Freeze. It'd be cool to see like a more grounded, like, I don't know. I'm just trying to think of some of my favorite, like Clayface. That'd be super weird. You know what I mean? Yeah. A Man Bat. I don't know, man. There's like endless possibilities, you know. And I'd just love to see a new villain get the limelight for once. And this is me being a big Joker fan, being a big Heath Ledger fan, and also being in the popular vote that Jared Leto sucked as the Joker. So,
so would definitely be nice to see Mr. Freeze a bit more down to earth.
Riddle me this, man. Riddle me that. Afraid of the big black bat. All right, so we'll move on to story number 2. Now that we've chatted all things Batman, or have we? I was going to talk about how we just got to see. Well, apparently, the Batman from The Flash was shown off during CinemaCon today. Tried looking for that.
Found nothing.
Bad time.
I did see an image of his armor, which it's cool because it is pretty much the same. It's what you'd expect if there was a third Michael Keaton Batman movie. Which I like. They haven't changed.
It does look the same. It does look the same, except you said you noticed something about the belt.
Yeah. I think it's good. They haven't tried to update it. They've kept it kind of classic, which I like.
Classic cool.
Yeah.
All right. Cool. So we're going to move on to story number 2. And that is Super Mario Brothers has been delayed, the movie, obviously. Well, how disappointed are you about this, Alan? Because I'm pretty disappointed. And also, how hyped are you for this movie?
I'm in two minds. Like, there's a few things, I don't know if they're true, but I've heard about Chris Pratt voicing him, that he's not doing like the classic Italian accent and things like that, Which, I mean, if that's true, I don't know how I feel because it's Mario. Like, he's legitimately Italian. Like, it's not having a dig at anyone here or being distasteful. But yeah, I'm upset that it's delayed. So I, for the most part, I'm curious to see this movie.
You're gonna laugh because I have to pull some B-roll footage up, and all I could find, baby, was the Super Mario Brothers movie from the 90s. Yeah, so I'm disappointed in this a lot. Look at Luigi, bro.
John Leguizamo.
Oh, dude. So for everyone interested, we are going to be reviewing this Super Mario Brothers movie, the original 1990s one, which we're watching footage of right now. Keep a lookout for that, but obviously we're going to be doing it when the Super Mario Brothers, the new one, being voiced by Chris Pratt, comes out, which, as we're reporting now, has been delayed. So while I report why, and how it's been delayed, I'm going to pull it up. Here we go. This is written by Kat Bailey over at IGN as well. Illumination's Super Mario Brothers movie. Illumination are the people behind the Despicable Me movies, in case you guys didn't know, and Minion movies. So Illumination's Super Mario Brothers movie is officially being delayed. It's the latest movie to be pushed to 2023 as Hollywood continues to suffer the effects of the COVID-19 pandemic and other issues. It says, this is Miyamoto. This is a quote, from Shigeru Miyamoto, who is the creator of Super Mario Brothers, Zelda, a bunch of others. So he says, this is Miyamoto, this is on Twitter. After consulting with Chris Sun, my partner at Illumination on the Super Mario Brothers film, we decided to move the global release to spring 2023, which is April 28th in Japan, and April 7th in North America. My deepest apologies, but I promise it will be well worth the wait. Illumination Super Mario Brothers movie was originally set to be released on December 21st. It joins movies like John Wick 4, which have also been delayed to next year. And yeah, that's basically a summary of the reasons, which, look, I'm pretty sure we only recently found out the date that they intended to release this movie. Can you remember when that was announced, Alan? Was it last year or was it this year?
Well, I think it was the end of last year they first announced it.
So I kind of feel like with this sort of movie on this scale, I don't think they knew. Like, I just think they knew that. Like, that's why I think they put a December date on it, which is what a lot of people do, which is what apparently Nintendo did, I think, for Zelda Breath of the Wild 2 for December release, and then it got delayed, I believe, to next year. I can't remember if that's true, or we didn't get a delay. We didn't get a release window. We were told 2022, and maybe some people thought holiday or Christmas. Look, either way, the movie's been delayed, and it's a shame because I have high hopes for it just because they know what they fucked up with this movie. They know that Mario's a beloved character. They knocked it out of the park, in my opinion, with Detective Pikachu. And Nintendo's a lot more careful about how people handle their properties, such as Mario, now than they were in the 90s. And I do believe that they hired Chris Pratt not because he's the biggest star in Hollywood, but because they believed he could do the performance they wanted. They wouldn't have just gotten him for no reason. And while, yes, it may not be the classic wahoo or let's go, I'm sure it'll be him like just talking normal, everyone talking normal. And we just have to come to terms with that's what the Mario Brothers movie's going to be. And I'm sure if we can go into it with that open-mindedness, the movie will get us. I'm sure it'll hook us. I have faith in this movie, and I don't know why, but I have faith. So, yes. Yeah, I mean, I'm more excited about this than what I was for the Sonic movies. And the Sonic movies, while not everyone's loving them, they seem to be doing pretty well and don't seem to be an abomination on the video game industry like previous entries in video game movie franchises have done. So,
yeah, it's the benchmark isn't set too high with the old 90s movie either as well.
Man, look at that CG dinosaur though. Come on, man.
Just watching this here, it's like it has not aged well.
It certainly hasn't. I can't wait till we have. Look at this dude, man. Oh man, I can't wait till we have to review this piece of shit movie. Oh, fucking hell. I will be needing a toilet and a fucking plunger after this one, I tell you what. I'm going to shit myself for the whole movie. I'll be like, oh fuck! Clog up the toilet afterwards. Let's go! Clean the toilet!
It's a me, poop you.
It's a me, I shit all over the place. Okay, so, yeah, Super Mario Brothers movie delayed, everybody. Hope you didn't promise your kids that for Christmas because they're going to be fucking pissed. Anyways, we'll move on to story number 3. And that is Jackass 4.5 is officially coming to Netflix. So that is coming to Netflix also, by the way. We don't have to wait very long. This is coming May 20th, so next month. How do you feel about this, Alan?
I am excited to see it because the movie itself, Jackass 4 or Jackass Forever, whatever, left me hungry for more. So,
well, I'm trying to find it right now. 1 second. There is an article we should be able to find about Jackass 4.5. 1 second. And it actually shows off a clip from the movie. Now, did you know that the Blu-ray of Jackass Forever actually comes with 40 minutes of deleted scenes?
yeah, I did not.
Well, if you didn't know that, it does. And while I had an idea to play these clips on our podcast, or at least 1 or 2, I don't think it'll pass. I don't think the copyright police are going to allow it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show the clip they put up, and I'm going to show 1 clip from the deleted scenes.
We are going to tempt the fates.
And if you guys only get to see the 1 clip and not the second, you know that we had to cut it, and you're just going to have to miss out. So we'll start off with the clip that I can show you guys because it's been up on the internet already and stuff. And then I'll show you a clip from the deleted scenes, which if you don't want to go out and spend $30 on Blu-ray, this might be your only chance to check it out because they kind of got already taken down off YouTube, and that's how I got it. I just downloaded it with MP4 converter. So, all right, let me bring up my screen. It's gonna be cool, man, to see Jackass 4.5 when I've seen all of the deleted scenes and they didn't even make it to Jackass 4.5 and they were still funny. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So this is an article from IGN which brings us the clip from it. Here we go. And we go to here and let's do it. Holy shit! Are you alright? He's spun in the air. I got one. Dude, gotta do it, right? Oh my god!
I was cruising along in my cool little box here. Fucking dickhead air and smashed the fuck out of me. And I didn't land in the saucepan. I landed back on this bullshit.
Your hand totally broke your landing.
Hi, Nick Molino. Fine, Nick Molino. I'm gonna claw that crustacean.
Get the speaker.
Holy shit! movie fucking sucked. You lost, sir. You lost.
So that is coming to Netflix May 20th. Now, we're going to try this deleted scene. Now, quickly let me find it because it's awesome, bro. You will fucking love it. I hope we get away with showing this, man, because I didn't just straight rip it and put it onto YouTube. Like, you know, we're kind of reacting to it, and it's one deleted scene, so let's hope they give us a break. But if not, fuck it. We tried.
We tried.
Oh, okay. 1 second. All right, so what we might do is I might try and bring it up in here. 1 sec, everyone. All right, you know what? Fuck it. We're gonna go to. We're gonna talk about this still. We're gonna come back to the other clips, but what we'll do first is we'll get into a little bit of CinemaCon talk while I get this clip ready, and we'll bring it in. So while I'm doing that, Alan, let's talk a little bit about CinemaCon and what they announced today. But we got not much previews or trailers to watch. So, yeah, fill us in with what you learned and a few other things.
I think one that I think was like the Batman is kind of like, wow, that's not surprising, but now we know is Venom 3 being greenlit. It'll be interesting to see who the bad guy is. The last movie kind of led into Toxin, but I don't know. I don't think that character really has the kind of carrying power that Carnage does. So it'd be interesting to see where they go with that. I was kind of hoping for a Spider-Man Venom movie for the third one, but I don't think we're going to get that. Not now.
And they, like, what did they show much more about, like, Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse or what?
They touched on that a little bit. They said that it's going to be crossing, I think they said 5 or 6 universes. There's going to be something ridiculous. Like, I can't remember the exact figure, but I think they said 240 Spider-Man related characters are going to be in it, as opposed to 40 from the last one. So there's going to be a lot of content. And they also announced with it that Beyond the Spider-Verse, the third movie, is going to be the following year.
They've already announced there's going to be 3 movies.
Yeah. There's some speculation as well that the third movie might actually be live action because it's kind of like Beyond the Spider-Verse. So that would be interesting to see if they are doing that. The other thing Sony did, which is, I think, like, of course, any movie's a cash grab. That's what movies are. But this one just feels like a cash grab. I don't think he's been in much. There's a Latino character called El Muerto, and I don't know bugger all about him. I think it's along the lines of he's a wrestler that has a mask that gives him super strength. And they're making a movie on this guy. And they're getting Bad Bunny, the rapper, to play him. And it's just a weird decision that I think is going to fall on its face like Morbius did. It's... Yeah. And for them to introduce their first Latino hero, you have Miles Morales, you have Miguel O'Hara, who are both Spider-Man that you could introduce. It just seems really strange that they're going, we'll take this vague character and we know they'll make us some money because Spider-Man, and that's what we're going to do. It just doesn't seem like a good decision, and it doesn't feel like they've learned from their mistakes.
What were the sort of other standout films you sort of noticed today the things that took your caught your eye?
I think the biggest one was the Spider-Verse stuff. I'm hanging because I think CinemaCon is still going.
Yep.
And there's rumors there might be an Avatar 2 trailer, so I'm pretty keen to see that. I'm in two minds about waiting so long and if I'll care about this movie, but I'm keen to see what they're seeing something from this because it's been such a long wait, like 12 years, I think, since the first movie. So, other than that, I think that's the main kind of standout things that I've seen. There was also, I think there was a trailer for a Salem's Lot remake, which is like an old school horror movie, which which the concept sounds cool. I just hope they do it some justice because it's a weird choice. Like I don't know how well it'll translate to the new day kind of thing, but it'll be interesting to see.
Nice, man. Well, what about Black Adam? Did you see much about that? Because I don't know much about what Black Adam is like about. I'm a big DC comic fan, and I like DC movies usually, but I have no idea about Black Adam, and I have no idea what the premise for this movie is going to be. All I know is that it's called Black Adam, and it stars The Rock. So
I haven't seen too much from CinemaCon, but in general, there's been a bit going around. Yeah, he's I don't know the exact kind of lore of him, but I know he's along the same sort of lines as Shazam. But he's more an anti-hero villain kind of character. So it's not going to be the same sort of lighthearted superhero Shazam kind of stuff. But it's along the same sort of lines, but I think he's more of an Egyptian god background.
Yep.
I may need to be corrected on that. I don't know. But I think that's more what his jam is. Yeah, same sort of premise, though. He's got the powers of all these gods from the wizard Shazam or whatever it is in this case.
yeah, awesome. And did you notice something about Avatar as well? Yeah, Avatar 2.
Yes, yeah. There's talks that there's going to be an Avatar 2 trailer dropping, but my understanding is that Disney haven't done their thing yet, so it'll be keen to see if there's that as well as like mentioning maybe some more Marvel content too. But Disney have been pretty tight-lipped about everything, I think, at this point.
Yep.
So as far as I can see, nothing's really been. I don't think they've had a release yet, but keen to see what will happen between now and the 28th in America.
Yeah, well, I'm pretty excited that there's like some decent movies coming around. Like, I'm excited to see. What do you think to do with Avatar 2? Because like the horror of Avatar 1 was the 3D, you had to go see it at the cinemas to see it at its best, and it never got released actually on 3D Blu-ray unless you bought, like, it was exclusive to buying a certain 3D television, which I think was Panasonic at the time. So they owned, like, you got a copy of the Avatar Blu-ray when you bought a television, and it was so expensive. It was like over $100 just for the Blu-ray. But I had a copy of it on the 3D television as well. And even watching that at home on 3D television, like even a big one, like a 55-inch or whatever, it just wasn't the same because in the cinema, the 3D was so well done that like things were like floating in the room, basically. It was like IMAX 3D, you know what I mean? So what do you think they're going to do to bring the wow factor for the sequel in this day and age when 3D, they probably most likely will do 3D again and make it even better? But do you think that's all they're going to do, or do you think they're not going to do 3D?
I sincerely hope they do because, as you said, the 3D for that movie, it was in a league of its own. Like, you had 3D movies, but then you had Avatar. And Avatar was, as you said, kind of like the little things in the foreground, all the depth. It was just phenomenally well done. And I think it would definitely be a good draw card for the movies as well if they keep that angle. Even if they only have it for IMAX, the 3D aspect. I think it's something that I'd really like to see. But as far as I know, it's going to be another trilogy of movies. So it'll be interesting to see where we go.
I know you're a giant fan.
Yeah.
So like, really hope these movies are really good because like when was the first one made? What, 2009?
2009 or 2010?
It would have had to have been 2009 because Jackass 3D came out 2010 and they were announcing that they were using the same 3D cameras that Avatar had used. So I'd say it was 2009. Which that's like, man. Like I'm gonna look it up quickly. So like we've waited, and I know for a fact that James Cameron has not worked on anything else. Yeah.
Not that I know of, no.
No. So like he's been like trying. I'd say that he's been shooting this for. Yeah. So Avatar 1 came out 2009. Avatar 2 2022. So that's like 13 years or whatever, man. Like that's a long time to wait for a sequel. And for James Cameron to take that long with it, there has to be more to it than just making a film. You know what I mean? Like there has to be some sort of technology that they're going to bring to the table to really make this movie fucking awesome, you know?
And that's what James Cameron kind of does as well. He kind of waits till that technology is there or forces the standard to adapt so that he has what he wants. He did that with this movie as well, I believe.
Well, like, I mean, what I see is 3D is still... You know what's weird? I saw didn't we see a trailer for something recently where it said in real 3D, like coming in real 3D?
It does sound familiar, yeah.
And I was like, what? Like, no movies come out in 3D anymore. Like, maybe what I feel that, like, everyone was, like, forced to basically get a 3D projector if you were a cinema because of this film, Avatar. And then it paved the way for making that worthwhile because a lot of movies came out in 3D after that. But do you see cinemas, like, going and getting specialized tech to make this movie work?
I don't know. I think it depends what the tech is and how much it's likely to catch on. I reckon if it does, it may just be an IMAX thing. But at the same time, I'd be happy with that because I'll be seeing this movie with IMAX anyway. I think it's even in 2D, it's kind of just that kind of movie. It's that kind of grand visuals, having it that massive. I think is a good way to do it.
See, I think it would be awesome if they took a page out of like the Lego Discovery Center's book and do a 4D cinema.
That would be cool.
Because they've got one there and it's awesome, dude. Like we saw, what did we see there? We saw, I think it was Lego City, like a little like short for it. Lego Chima, which I hate Lego Chima, but it was cool, like the experience. And I think we saw Ninjago maybe, but they had like, we didn't get to see it that day, but there was like a Lego, it might've been like a Batman or a Spider-Man or Jurassic Park or something going as well. So they have different movies going there and like the lights matched everything. The 3D is awesome. Like the 3D is phenomenal. Like it's like on another level of 3D and the seats and everything move and vibrate and like smoke, like you get rained on by like, you know, condensation or sort of feeling water. Like they've got to do that for Avatar 2, I reckon, if they can at some 4D setup already. If they didn't make 2D, like sort of it's 4D, 3D, it's, I don't know. I just feel like that would be the next sort of level that they could take this movie to. Not that I'm saying that that's what I predict movies are going to do, theaters are going to do by the end of 22 is adopt 4D platforms and everything because it's not an easy job to put that in, but that would be something that I can see would make Avatar to next level. So
absolutely.
Cool. All right. So we'll bring up story number 5 and I've added story number 6 to be the deleted scene from Jackass. So while that's getting ready, we'll go into story number 5. Which is pretty much our final story for the week, and that is Uncharted and The Last of Us. Future titles are coming, sort of. So, for anyone that doesn't know, I'm a big Uncharted fan. I love Uncharted. They're my favorite games. Well, Uncharted 4 is my favorite PlayStation 4 game. Uncharted 2 might be my favorite PS3 game. And I just love Uncharted. And by the way, I've got the movie now, so I'm going to watch that. I think me and you should watch that and do a special episode review on it when we got more time, obviously. But I have always wanted another Uncharted. I have always wanted a game that's at least like Uncharted. So, yeah, okay, we got like Shadow of the Tomb Raider and Rise of the Tomb Raider and whatever, I think. I don't know if we got them in between or not, but I know we got those games anyway. And while they were okay games, they didn't capture the Uncharted vibe like I would have liked. So what I have always wanted is to hear that we're going to get a new one. And I didn't kind of care if Naughty Dog worked on it, if someone else worked on it. I just wanted someone to take the formula, not even the characters. Like, it could be about a younger Sully. So, like, the older guy in the series that, you know, he's in the older ones. He's also a big part of the story. You don't get to know him as a younger dude. So why not go back and see what he did as, like, beforehand? Like, so basically we want that third person action blockbuster Uncharted, and I don't care who the fuck makes it, man. You know what I mean? Like, yes, Naughty Dog brought the series in and made it what it is today, but I'm happy if Ben's studio, who made Uncharted The Golden Abyss for PS Vita, jumped on and made Uncharted a new one, or even, just a spin-off series. And Naughty Dog said they'd never go back to it. They kind of, if you play Uncharted 4, which I'm not going to spoil it for everyone, but the ending sort of is, it's the end. Like, that was the perfect ending, you know? So for me to hear that there's rumblings at Naughty Dog that they were working on they might work on another Uncharted in the future, they'd love to. While it's awesome news to hear that Uncharted may not be dead forever, and B, it's cool that Naughty Dog are proposing to do it. Even though that's good things, I'd almost prefer we were getting another Uncharted still and letting it go to somebody else and letting Naughty Dog work on a brand new IP completely. Because I feel like I'd love to see what they can do apart from Uncharted and The Last of Us. But I also believe that Uncharted is so solid in its format, gameplay, and what you must do to make an Uncharted game Uncharted, that another awesome game developer can come and do a good job and put a fresh take on the series while not fucking the gameplay up. You know what I mean? So it's kind of bittersweet that they might work on another one. But the other bit of news is that they are working on The Last of Us remake, which this has been going around for a while, but it sort of was in the same article as Uncharted 5, and I thought I should bring it up because I don't think we've spoken about it on the podcast, that they are currently working on a remake of The Last of Us, which is really kind of baffling to me because while the game is really great, personally, look, everyone went away from that game loving that game, and I went away from that game going, yeah, it was awesome, but I'm all good. I've tried to get through the second one twice, gotten really far into it too, like 10 to 12 hours deep. I'm in Seattle. I'm just about to take someone in the town. I don't know, take out them. But like the game, we've already had a remaster of the game. We don't need a remake. Like, it's not even been that long. It's not even that long ago this game came out. Like,
yeah, it seems reminiscent of GTA 5.
It does, but also it's not as egregious because they have not milked a game for that long. And while they did make The Last of Us, they've made games in between, like The Last of Us Part 2, Uncharted, Uncharted 4, The Lost Legacy. All these games were after the Last of Us. So that says to me that it's not as egregious as Rockstar Games, because Rockstar Games haven't released shit since GTA 5. You know what I mean? But I do think it's unnecessary. I do think like that. Apparently they were going to do an Uncharted remake for the first one, which it needed it. It would have needed it way more than The Last of Us, considering that game came out like 2007 for PlayStation 3 or some shit, maybe 2008. And that game's really rough and it's not very good. Like, it's kind of clunky. There's sort of like, it's just not as polished as the future titles. So it would have been nice to see, but apparently Sony said it's too expensive because there would have been way too much more work that would have had to go into that remake than The Last of Us, which makes me question why they're doing this Last of Us remake anyway, because if their whole idea was to update Uncharted 1 and bring it out as a remaster and bring that up to date, and they were like, Sony were like, nah, too expensive. And they were like, oh, okay, well, we'll do The Last of Us. And it's like, that wasn't your idea in the first place, fuckwit. So why are you suggesting it? Why not make The Last of Us Part 3 or Uncharted fucking something else, or make a new game? Why are you going back to the well for a game that we've already had a remaster that runs at 60 frames per second, 4K resolution, and doesn't look half bad? I remember playing through this game like it was fucking yesterday, you know? So, I don't know, man. It makes me frustrated that Naughty Dog are kind of playing into that hand of like, oh, well, we're going to make The Last of Us fucking remaster, brand new.
This is safe. Let's do this.
This is safe, you know? And it's just like, come on, like, branch out. And if you're not going to do something that we've been craving for a while, like, I don't know about everyone else, but even though I'm not the biggest Last of Us fan, I'm all Last of Us out. I'm Last of Us out. I've had enough. Like, Last of Us Part 2, as I said, I couldn't get through it. It was fucking... It just was dragging, man. And I was like, this is... Like, I like Naughty Dog when they do linear. And while Last of Us Part 2 is nowhere near linear, open world, it is nowhere near linear either. It's very open spaces. You can go to different buildings in Seattle, and you got a map, and you like cross off each building as you go, and it fucking takes you ages to get around, bro. So like, it's not open world, but it isn't technically linear either in points of the game. And I don't know, man, it just wasn't the formula that I was used to or like from Naughty Dog. So, I mean, I'm excited to see what they show us. I mean, they could bring out an Uncharted trailer that blows me the fuck away, and I'll be like, forget it. Keep doing what you're doing. You know what I mean? But I'm a little hesitant on The Last of Us remake, even though I'm a PlayStation guy and I'll probably buy it and play it and give it a go. And I'm not going to try and shit on it too much too early. I still am going to stick to everything I've just said. And yeah, think that it's kind of unnecessary.
Yeah.
And their talents could be used for more. So, but yeah, like you said, you're going to get a PlayStation, Alan, and you're not really much of The Last of Us doesn't do it for you. While you say that, the PlayStation Plus collection, which you get for nothing if you get a PS5 when you sign up for PlayStation Plus, you get like 20 games or 30 games for free, which includes like Until Dawn, Ratchet and Clank, Uncharted 4, Mortal Kombat, The Last Guardian, Call of Duty, and you get The Last of Us for free in it as well. So I'd suggest you give it a go, because while the premise and the footage you've seen from it might not be what you're into, I think it's a game that if you own a PlayStation, you must try at least, because it's so highly regarded. So
well, the price is definitely right for free as well. So
exactly, man. You may as well. You know, you may as well, and you never know. You might find something you like, because it's like it's from a great. It is a great game, and they're both great games. The Last of Us Part 2 is a great game too, but it's just not my flavor of game, and I don't really give a fuck about zombies. You know.
Yeah.
So, I mean, what would you prefer to say? I'm sure you'd prefer to probably see more Uncharted than The Last of Us, just by the way you've sort of like told me how you feel towards these properties.
Yeah, I'm a lot more intrigued by Uncharted than The Last of Us, so I think I'd like to see some more content for that franchise in particular. Then
I'm really excited for you to get a PlayStation 5, man, so you can play the Uncharted games, because I think we should maybe next year or something, or whenever you get it, and you've done it, or you've played all the titles, because you can get the Nathan Drake collection, which gives you 1, 2, 3. And then you can buy the Legacy of Thieves collection, which gives you 4, and Lost Legacy. So maybe I'm thinking next year it's going to take a little more time than a movie would and stuff, but I already mentioned it to you. I'm thinking we should do a ranked and reviewed for a couple of TV seasons. And I think we should also do a ranked and reviewed for some game series too. And it'd be really cool to do Uncharted ranked and reviewed, you know?
Yeah, definitely. I'm down for that.
Because I'd be happy to play some games that you bring up that I have to play, you know what I mean? And I'm sure they're not going to be games that I'd be like, no, like, you're not going to go, let's do Warhammer in review, because I'm just going to go.
Every WWE game.
Oh, that would be easy, man. I'd do that. As long as you fucking bought them. No, I'm joking. So,
I don't know. How many Paw Patrol games are there?
I don't know, but I'm not happy that we have to add another Barbie movie to our fucking ranked and reviewed series now. That
It's just
Margot
making
Robbie-
that list longer and longer. Like, we're going to be here till 2025 doing Barbie at this rate.
I know, man. And you know what? Me and I'm not going to be too impressed about this. So, yeah, I mean, I guess we'll keep our eyes peeled for when Naughty Dog or whoever decide to do whatever they're going to do with these properties. But it's interesting because we still haven't seen The Last of Us Factions, which is supposed to be the multiplayer component to The Last of Us Part 2, which we're still waiting on. And you know how long The Last of Us Part 2 came out, Alan. So we're going to be waiting a while still, I think. And we haven't heard shit. So with that, we're going to move on to our last story for the episode, which is Jackass deleted scene. And as you can see down the bottom, I wrote, fuck you, copyright. We're going to give it a go. So everyone, just in case we don't see you. Oh, well, we're going to see you on the other side. But you know what? If it cuts all of a sudden after we go play on this video and we're like, ha 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 ha, well, that was really good, Alan. And there's no video for you guys to watch. You know what happened? Copyright police were like, woo, 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 pull your vehicle over. And then you were like, fuck off. All right, so let's bring this up. This is one deleted scene off the Jackass Forever DVD. Kick it.
So we got your dad, Dark Shark, on the set today.
He's finally here.
Very excited. He thinks that I'm going to kiss a Wolverine.
You know what y'all told him?
Yeah. That's the ruse, to get him in the room.
Okay. Nice, nice.
And then we're obviously going to close the doors and introduce him to Cody.
Cody.
Our bear.
Oh, nice, nice. Cody the bear. Sounds like a nice thing to do to him. He's gonna freak out pretty well because anything that's not normally seen in the streets of LA is very foreign to him.
Right.
And the big ass bear is gonna he might try to jump through the window. I don't know. I don't know how he's gonna react. So this is gonna be fucking crazy.
They told me they was doing something. I forgot. They said they was scaring somebody else. And then they sent the brother on me. They knew I was gonna trust the black dude.
What up, man?
Come on, man.
What's up, man? What up, big dog?
You ready to have some fun? All right.
So he told me to come with him. I'm thinking we finna scare somebody else.
Y'all ready?
Hey, Dark Shark.
What is this? What is this? What the fuck is this?
Marshmallows.
What the fuck is y'all doing, man? What are you niggas doing?
Oh, no.
Hey! What the fuck is that, man? Hey! Wait a minute! What the fuck is that, bro? What the fuck is that? Hey! I'm gonna break this door, man. Hey! Hey, man! Hey, get that fucking beer, bro! Hey! Oh, shit.
He's trying to hide.
Man! Hey, man, get this damn thing, bro!
Let it see your face.
Get to the window.
My dad's there with a bear right now. He might start crying.
The bear trainer told me they'll nudge you, and they want a treat, they want a prize. They'll nudge you again, and then they're really expecting a prize. And if they don't get a prize, they're going to start nibbling. And if they don't get a prize after the first nibble, the second nibble is going to be a hard bite. He's going to
Hey, man! Hey! Hey, man, what the fuck, bro? Come on, man. What the fuck was that, man?
Just give him a hug. Get your bear a hug.
Dark Shark, those trees aren't real. You can't climb them.
Hey, get him, Devon!
He started calling me by my real name too, so you know he was dead serious. Devon.
Get this motherfucker for real, Devon. I ain't playing, for real. He bit me, he bit me!
Don't scream or you'll scare it.
He bit me! Get him, Devon! Get him, he bit me! Get him, bro! Get the fuck going on?
But I never imagined that they'll put me in the room with a bear, you know, because I'm from the streets and, okay, I'm scared of Yogi the Bear, you know, so we don't do bears, so that was way out. That was crazy.
Man, y'all crazy, man. Y'all almost killed me, man. I tell you, I got a bad heart, man. You good, man? Get away from me, motherfucker. Y'all lucky I didn't have my knife with me, for real, though, man.
Come on, man.
Mo, you heard me in there calling your ass. I tried to climb that fucking wall, man.
You were doing this.
Yeah, we Black Lives Matter. You don't throw me there with a bear, bro.
At least the bear was black too.
Oh man, no, it's so funny. It was so funny, dude. Oh man, I was laughing so hard when he was like, "Get away from me, motherfucker!" And when he's like Devon.
And in case that was cut out, there was actual like aliens, like
Dude,
a dragon.
There was
everything.
Robert Pattinson outstaying his welcome.
Yeah, George Clooney was there as well, going,
"Hi, Freeze. I'm Batman." You're just going to be like this one day.
But the thing is, if they cut that out, you'll never know.
My beanie came off and everything. I'm George Clooney.
So that's why George Clooney doesn't wear beanies.
Yeah, no, he'd be like Kenny from South Park. That sounded like a trumpet, but whatever. Anyways, thank you for joining us, everyone. That's going to do today's episode of Louder Pop Culture Podcast. Now, before we leave, our Jackass. I got Jackass on the brain. Our Jurassic Park ranked and reviewed episode for The Lost World is up now as we speak. So go check that out if you haven't already. We're going to do Jurassic Park 3 next week. And on Friday, which is tomorrow, because this podcast is coming out on a Thursday, on the Friday, we have the awesome Jurassic Park joining us on Loud and Alternative Music Podcast. So make sure you're tuning in for that because it's going to be an awesome show. So we still have a lot of content coming up for you guys and it ain't going to stop. So unlike the Batman movie, which went on for too long, we're keeping on going. Which that one tried to keep up with us and it didn't. So if you remember, if you haven't subscribed already, please subscribe, like, and share. I'm begging of you. Please, sir, may I have some more? And I'm your host, Tomye West. And joining me, as always, has been Alannis Maximus. And we will see you when me and see you guys. Catch you later.